Well, that's the question, isn't it? The stats don't lie. It's not an opinion, it's fact that they're running, their effort, their commitment to the cause hasn't been there. That's there it's there in the results, but it's there in the stats. So where has it been? He's been part of the coaching staff. I understand the analysis of his post-match words between the Sky pundits and digging him out a little bit, but to give him a little bit, cut him a bit of slack. He's not used to it. He's not used to... Hard for him to come out and be brutally honest in his second ever press conference.
He's a big boy, Danny. He's a big boy.
No, but in terms of sometimes, Jimmy Floyd Hasselman made a great point about, because he is a manager, he's been a manager, and he said sometimes you come out with still the emotion inside you of the game, and you look back on the press conference post match and you think, I got that wrong. Maybe I should have dealt with that differently, and maybe he is. So I think it went too much about what he said or didn't say, rather than the analysis of United, the game. And I just thought they became so focused on what he did and didn't say. But I do agree with what Roy Keane's saying. If you can be proud of a group of players for doing the job after months of not doing the job, there's something wrong. That's Manchester United Football Club. We're talking about top-class international players. On that point alone, I thought Roy Keane was spot on, and I think there was some good signs for United. They should have lost the game in terms of Chelsea were very good and had the better chances in the game. But sometimes by working hard, you get a bit of luck. And they worked harder than they had done in previous weeks. So, I mean, there was a whisper, and I don't know how true it was, that Darren Fletcher, who was with the earpiece in, talking constantly during the game, they thought there is a suggestion he was talking to Ranić.
I actually think that what Michael Carrick says is irrelevant, because he's part of a coaching staff that has been unsuccessful during this period. He's part of the same problem that we've seen for the last 3 years, in my view. His observations, Danny's absolutely right when he talks about the inexperience of somebody in front of the cameras. But what you heard was nonsense, and Roy Keane was right to call it out. Whether you want to focus on the level of nonsense is a matter for debate. And of course, if he's going to do a press conference afterwards, and because it's Manchester United and because they're in a state of flux and turmoil, you're going to get his words being scrutinised. So he has to think about what he's going to say. And when you get this silly little nonsense, jobs for the boys mentality that Roy alluded to, that I'd referred to earlier on in the week, and start to talk about pride, you can have no pride in people doing their jobs. People doing their jobs is a basic fundamental premise, especially highly paid, well-rewarded footballers. I suspect the change of formation and the dropping of certain individuals enabled United to play in a slightly different way, and also the absolute profligacy of Chelsea and their complete and utter waste of the opportunities that they had allowed Man United to come out of a game probably with a point that they might have deserved for endeavour but didn't deserve for quality. Jorginho, unfortunately, tragically gives away a goal. But Chelsea battered them, and someone's got to have a word about Timo Werner, because we're getting to the point where I've always been an advocate of his and suggest that probably Thomas Tuchel knows more than all of us put together in this room about what Timo Werner is and what Timo Werner isn't. But there has to come a point where this boy starts scoring goals, because quite clearly his record in professional football outside of the English Premier League has been outstanding, and his record with Chelsea is not. But you look at the game and say, I thought that Chelsea would hand United their heads, but I also thought United would turn up in this particular game, because you can't stink the place out as badly as you did against Watford and not have a modicum of professional pride, even if some of these slobs have been so poor over the last 2 or 3 months that they don't look like they've got any professional pride.
Sure.
And the fact that Chelsea combined that with what I thought was at times was a little bit of a sloppy performance, and at times a profligate performance in front of goal, all gave United a result that perhaps you would have thought they wouldn't have gotten.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.